about boxing. This is my life, you know. So these boys got the potential to lock up the belts for the next, what's that? Year and a half, right? Year and a half. These boys can be busy fighting each other, but fighters like me who are right there just won't get that shot, you know. So it's okay though. There's great fights. There's great fights that can happen, and I still want to make great fights happen. There's talks of some younger names that they've been slowly for the past year or two been saying these guys are coming up and they're gonna need somebody. And you know, Thurman loves big names. You know, these guys have been growing. And I'm talking about the Vergil Ortizes. I'm talking about the Boots Ennis. You know, and we'll just see what manifests. But we just got to get back in that ring.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, 30 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 69-inch arm reach, will be taking on this man, former WBA welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, who Yordenis Ugas is 27 wins, 5 losses, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout. Once in his career, he was knocked out. Stands at 5'9" with a 71-inch arm reach. With that said, Keith Thurman has been inactive. Yordenis Ugas has been inactive. Yordenis Ugas has been active because he took a hellacious beating. He is 36, 37 years of age. He took a hellacious beating when he took on and lost in the unification bout April of 2022 against now undefeated unified 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not the number 1, definitely top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, in Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. is now 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence, he broke Yordenis Ugas' ribs, nose, and orbital bone and won a 10-round decision over Yordenis Ugas in the unification bout. Prior to that, Yordenis Ugas had made a good showing of himself, okay? He had beat legendary retired 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, and Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. That was August of 2021 in replacement of Errol Spence that was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao. And he dominated Manny Pacquiao, winning a unanimous decision over Manny Pacquiao. Oddly enough, Manny Pacquiao, back in July of 2019, he defeated Keith Thurman via a split decision, giving Keith Thurman the first loss of his career, dropping Keith Thurman in that fight. That was Keith Thurman coming back off of a 2-year layoff, and he had one tune-up fight against Josito Lopez in January of that year. Okay, that was 2019. So in July, he fought Manny Pacquiao, and Keith Thurman, he lost. And since then, Keith Thurman has fought a total of 3 times in 6 years. Okay, since Keith Thurman unified the belts against 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, March of 2017, March 4th of 2017 to be exact, he won a split decision over Danny Garcia. From there, Keith Thurman was inactive. He was out the ring until January of 2019 when he fought Josito Lopez, won a majority decision. Then July of 2019, he fought Manny Pacquiao and lost. And then he was out the ring again for 2 years and came back February of 2022 and he beat Mario Barrios, and he looked vulnerable a few times in that fight. Nonetheless, Keith Thurman is still a superstar within the sport of boxing. He only took 1 loss. It's just inactivity that has put Keith Thurman on the back burner. Now, Keith Thurman and Yordenis Ugas look like they're going to face off in August. Keith Thurman, he did an interview with Last Stand Podcast and Brian Custer, and he tried to keep it under wraps. Brian Custer let the cat out the bag. He said, you'll be back in the ring in August against a former world champion. We know it's Yordenis Ugas. Then Keith Thurman, he downplayed it. He said, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, that's the massive fight. That's the biggest fight in 40 years. They're going to fight July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, in a massive welterweight undisputed showdown. And he said they're going to tie up the belts for a few years. They got rematch clause, and then they could possibly move up. I'm fighting the former world champion. So he stated that he was offered 2 fights, a fight with Yordenis Ugas and a fight with former IBF welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer Special K. Kell Brook. He said that Special K. Kell Brook is more of a gatekeeper. He's more of a washed up fighter. He got destroyed in his last few fights. Outside of the fight he just had with Amir Khan, where he knocked out Amir Khan, but he didn't look good, and he don't want to fight Kell Brook. And it's Yordenis Ugas is his choice of opponent. And Brian Custer said, we know it's Yordenis Ugas. And he said, well, you're just speculating. We still don't know. It's still not officially done. But Keith Thurman is fighting Yordenis Ugas in August. Okay. Then Keith Thurman goes on to say that, he's looking to clear the way after Yordenis Ugas and be a name and a big name, not a gatekeeper, but to spoil the plans of these upcoming fighters, such as undefeated Mexican welterweight superstar title contender Vergil Ortiz Jr., who has a fight coming up next week in a massive fight against Ennis, which is no walk in the park. That's a 50-50 fight for Vergil Ortiz. Now, Vergil Ortiz Jr. has knocked out every opponent he has faced. He's 19 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 25 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. But he's taking on another undefeated fighter and Lithuanian superstar in Ennis, who is 14 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. They're going to fight next week. That is a hard-fought fight for Vergil Ortiz. That's a 50-50 fight. And he said that, he has sights set on Vergil Ortiz. His name has been in a conversation with guys like Vergil Ortiz. And he also mentioned the phenom, as I call him, an undefeated welterweight superstar title contender in Jaron Boots Ennis, who is 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. Now, he has an interesting fight coming up next week as well. So Vergil Ortiz and Stanionis fight next week, and so does Jaron Boots Ennis. He's gonna fight Romain Villa, who is 26 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout, 30 years of age, Colombian fighter who is 5'7" with a 70-inch arm reach and an orthodox. He's coming off of a major win, the biggest win in his career, defeating Speedy Rashidi Ellis January of this year on the same card Jaron Boots Ennis fought as well. So he said that Jaron Boots Ennis, Vergil Ortiz, these are fighters he's been linked to. He's not ducking or dodging anybody. The typical Keith Thurman conversation. I got I ain't afraid to let it go. In the past, that was his conversation. Now, he's more strategic. He says he wants the biggest fights possible. And with that said, now he says that, after this fight with Yordenis Ugas, should he be victorious, then he'll set his sights on a possible showdown and a fight with either Vergil Ortiz or Jaron Boots Ennis, which would more than likely be Jaron Boots Ennis, because Keith Thurman is with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman, and he fights on Showtime and Showtime President of Sports Steven Espinosa. That's also where Jaron Boots Ennis showcases his talents. Vergil Ortiz Jr. is with retired Olympic gold medalist, 6th division world champion, Mexican American superstar, now a legend and promoter in Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions and DAZN. So that's a more difficult fight to be made, and it's just simply not. It's more realistic to see Jaron Ennis than you'll see Keith Thurman and Vergil Ortiz. So with that said, this is an interesting fight. This is a good fight for Yordenis Ugas, and it's a good fight for Keith Thurman. Yordenis Ugas, we don't know what we're going to get since taking that bad beating that he took in the Errol Spence fight. Now, he was competitive in the fight, but he took a hellacious beating. And Keith Thurman has been inactive. So this is a good fight between two champions to gauge where they are, to get back their feet wet. The winner could have, again, like Keith Thurman said, Jaron Ennis, Vergil Ortiz, maybe Stanionis, maybe Rashidi Ellis, who knows. But Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, they have a 2-fight deal. And the winner of that fight is going to fight the rematch. The loser of that fight is going to petition to have the rematch, and it's going to more than likely take place at 154. So with that said, they'll vacate the belt at 147. That'll clear the way for Keith Thurman and the rest of these fighters to fight for the vacant belts and start picking up belts. So with that said, Keith Thurman, I favor Keith Thurman to beat Yordenis Ugas, but Yordenis Ugas is a tough cookie. He's a tough customer. He's very skilled. He's very talented. He goes to the body very well, and that's Keith Thurman's glaring weakness is when you go to his body. So we just have to see what Yordenis Ugas is. His punch resistance still there, and can Keith Thurman knock off the ring rust? Ultimately, that's what it's going to boil down to. So I can't wait. This is exciting. I like this fight. This is arguably the best year in boxing. I know this is not the biggest fight with the biggest names, but this is two big names in an interesting fight. Two skilled veterans in the sport of boxing, and a lot is riding on the line for Keith Thurman more so than anything. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Who wins this fight? I'm gone. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.